Yeah. So yesterday we were discussing about monitoring and tuning. So yesterday we have seen heap analyzer. Yeah. So because our application, right, it is still not in the production. We did not get any logs. So I have a video in that I have checked. So like there are some data in that video. I'll show you that. Uh,
Where but you are showing Alia but
what?
this show us WebSphere video, but you are showing Alia but video.
Oh,
This
that's a YouTube mistake, not my mistake. Okay. If application requires more, maybe I'll just show you for example like how it will be. Okay. Yeah, let us see here. I believe some data will come here. I guess you cannot hear my voice, right? I mean, in this video, let me check. Okay, and the heap dump it is generally used to observe. Are you able to hear any voice in the YouTube? I guess not.
No.
Okay, that's fine. I'm muting it. So you'll just this is just an example. Like yesterday, we couldn't get any data, so I'm just showing here. Like if we yeah, in the top right, if you see here, we are having data, summary, analysis chart, all those things, leaks aspect. So if code is having some leaks aspects and some issues, right, you'll get more data like this, and you can view the data. See here analysis, and here it is showing the leak size, like how much code might have produced leak, and so based on your server memory availability, you can check the leak size and analyze and take the decision accordingly. And so next, yeah, so here, yeah, it is showing leaks aspect also. So it is even showing which code is taking more memory. So we can give this code to development team, and we can check what exactly this code is doing, and then they may have to optimize the code so that the performance can be managed. So this is one example where we can analyze using heap analyzer. Now the other, so there are two dumps, heap dump and thread dump. So heap dump is called heap dump, and thread dump in WebSphere they are saying Java core. So thread dump we have another tool as softwares. I'm having thread dump analyzer. Even this is a free tool provided by IBM. Oh, it's already open. So yeah, this is a thread dump. Sorry, IBM thread and monitor dump analyzer provided by IBM. So we can open our thread dumps. Open thread dumps. So yesterday we took this Java core. So yeah, I'm opening it. So I'm selecting this report. That this is the one just now we imported. And no time is not changed. Okay, so this is the one which we have imported now, and here we can, there are various options here to analyze. So let us select memory segment analyzer. So again it is saying used memory, free memory, all those things, memory data, and analyze thread status, analyze. Yeah, if you see here, if thread is, yesterday we have discussed, if there are any thread locks, we may have to optimize the code, or we have to take the appropriate decision. And see here, logs are 0, and these are runnable, these many requests are, or else processes might be running, so waiting for condition, all those things, maybe sometimes to understand the application, during non-business hours you may take heap and thread dumps and do analyzing. So once you analyze your application, you can understand your application, during properly running status, how would these reports look like. You can keep aside, and when really issue occurs, then you can compare the data, like when application is running and when application had issues. You can compare the data, and you can analyze and give suggestions to development team. Most of the companies, these things would be done by development team. And yeah, in and or else even senior, if the guy is like L3 on those stages, right, people will do these analysis. So initial stages you won't be doing this analysis, but it's always good to know how to check and how to do these things. So the moment you go to the company during non-business hours, you can take heap and thread dumps, and you can analyze using these tools. And heap and thread dumps don't take during business hours, because it could affect performance. So if there is issue, if there is any outage situation in those, anyway, since it is outage situation, you have to take heap and thread dumps, so that we can prevent such situations. So if there is issue, you can take, but if there is no issue and during business hours, you should not take heap and thread dumps. It is giving various thread details. So main thing is like deadlock, and even waiting on monitor. Even in your logs, if you see something with status waiting, waiting means it is not executing, it is waiting for something to finish. So if you have something on waiting, right, you have to think about it in general, and deadlocks you should think about it. Yeah, so this is how you can manage the logs, check the reports. I just highlighted few details, which is easy to understand, these details. For example, shared class caching. Shared class caching. You can just
Praveen,
try.
one small doubt.
Mm-hmm.
One small doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Praveen, whether this analysis is going to perform by WebSphere administrator or Unix administrator?
No, Unix administrator, he will not analyze this, because this is completely happening in the JVM. In WebSphere,
Once if at all any memory issue, anything is going to happen,
mhm.
Unix team is going to get first information, like whether any server or any application is going to be running with a full memory, full
Yes,
memory, like
what you said is
CPU
true.
delay.
Yeah, what you said is
It's going
true.
to be hit to the Unix team only, right?
Yeah. Well, now there are two conditions here. Like the first condition is when we have installed this saves, now this WebSphere is installed in my laptop. So my laptop CPU utilization could be normal, but the application memory, but even then the application memory may not be sufficient. Why? Because we have yesterday we have seen this heap size, initial heap size, maximum heap size. Say my operating system is having 8 GB. Okay, I cannot assign 8 GB to WebSphere. I can say, as per company standards, say I can assign only 4 GB to WebSphere. Why? Because if application goes on high load, it will means, it will go till 3.5 GB, or it will go maximum till 4 GB. Once the usage crosses 4 GB, the application gets stuck, but OS will be running. Okay. So here we'll say why. Why? Because my OS might be independent. Say my laptop, I'm having two more other applications, even they are important. So I have to assign memory to that also. Maybe I'll assign 1 GB to another applications. So in this scenario, only this application will get affected in my server because it is using high memory. In those cases, you have to understand why now application memory usage has been increased. The is load has been increased in the application. You should analyze all those things, and maybe we should suggest that my application is using more memory. Please increase OS memory, and so that we can assign more memory to our application. It happens like this. And I'll say one more thing. So but before doing, what will happen, they will keep some buffer memory. Say suppose you gave 4 GB to this application and 1 GB to another application. So they might keep 1 GB buffer. So they will take that 1 GB for the time being, and they will say if you don't increase the memory of the server, it may affect server performance. So this is WebSphere environment. But what example you gave is application might be running, and yes, some cases even CPU utilization will be more in the server. Those could be many reasons. Suppose they don't restart for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Yeah, the server sometimes load will become high. So that's why we will be having weekly reboots, right? Or sometimes even in the OS level, sometimes they will do some patching. If it really affects some patching, right? Even in those cases CPU utilization will become high. So if yeah CPU if CPU is affected, then all the applications will affect, the whole three applications will affect. So here the funda is, because of one application, the other applications or OS should not get impacted. So that's why they will give this initial heap size, maximum heap size. So only if it can use certain size of memory, we'll give those conditions in this initial heap size and maximum heap size. So is it clear, or any other doubts on this? Or else did I confuse you? Okay, I'll just repeat the concept. So what will happen, say in server we are having three applications, and say server is having 8 GB RAM. So what we'll do, we have to divide the RAM. Say we'll give 3 GB to one application, 1 GB to another application, 1 GB to another application. We'll give the RAM, we'll allocate RAM while configuring application. So because the whole funda is, if one application goes on high load, it should not affect other applications, it should not affect even OS. So they have all this analysis, and they will give memory size. So internally we will have this memory, maybe we can find out using these logs, all those things. So the whole funda is, will assign memory so that it will not affect other applications and the OS. So only if application is on high load and if uses more memory, only that application will get affected. And why then we should analyze and we should take the decision accordingly if it affects because of memory. And as you said, if CPU memory becomes high, means yeah, obviously it will affect all the applications. Okay, fine. So this is about memory, but yeah, what we're talking is like deadlock. Locking means, in the logs, if you open and search manually, you will see something called waiting. You will see in the logs waiting. If you see something is waiting, then most probably there could be some hung processes or deadlock situation has occurred, and it could report in the report as well. And apart from deadlocks, Waiting condition means if if thread is taking long time to execute all those things, and maybe sometimes you may have to analyze runnable and waiting. So in this, to troubleshoot, if you check manually in the logs, if you see something called waiting, then you should analyze more, why this thread is going on waiting status. Yeah. Okay, and shared class body, thread detail. What is this thread detail? Yeah, here it is giving the status of threads waiting, runnable, and so you will gain this experience, means by you'll understand by observing the logs. So what you do better, once you go to the company or take the dumps during non-business hours and analyze when it is in running status, and then compare when it really gets affected, means when application gets impacted, then you will find the difference and you can troubleshoot. And apart from that, I'm having one notes. I'll share you these notes, maybe this, and I'm having one more notes. Yeah, thread dump analysis. So whatever I have said, it will be there in these notes. So you can go through when you have some time, and it will be helpful. Okay. And I'll place all these notes and I'll send you email. I believe yesterday and day before yesterday I did not send emails.
Ravi,
Yeah,
can you explain deadlock once again?
sure. Okay, here simple concept. Suppose some code is doing some functionality. Based on application, the functionality could be Say suppose if it say you have a request, it is invoking a code, and that code has to reach some record in the database. Okay, and so here you are having another request, and it is invoking some code, and even the second request has to reach the same record. So now both codes are, both requests are trying to do the same thing, and they started trying to do at the same time. So what will happen, one will wait for other request to finish, and other request will wait for both will wait for each other, so that someone will finish the process, and so that it request can be executed, but none of the requests will get executes. And if such kind of processes will happen, right, uh, that the number of processes which are under waiting will get increased. And because that record is under locked state, now when the next record comes to the same record, even that will goes under waiting. And you have some database idea, right? Database little bit, table records.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So in such case, so if those two requests are trying to edit some record, and the record will get locked, because it got the two requests at the same time. So it cannot edit two requests at the same time. Only one, it can edit only one request at a time. So then, if keep on requests come for the same record, then the queue will increase. So this is where it becomes deadlock. Now, in such scenario, you have to restart JVM, or else you have to kill the lock. You have to kill the processes in the database level. They have to kill the locks, deadlocks. Sometimes you may have to loop the database team as well. They will check the deadlocks and they'll kill the deadlocks. And maybe in your case, in our JVM case, we restart the JVM, then it will get refreshed. So this is what deadlock is. And sometimes you may have to loop data after restart. Your application may not come up, then you may have to loop the database team, and they will check if they find any deadlocks, right, they will kill the deadlocks, and issue gets resolved. So in short, couple of requests or more requests try to do the same operation, then deadlock situation occurs. Okay. And yeah, I'll just share this notes, because yesterday and day before yesterday I forgot, and I'll even up if those softwares are not uploaded, I'll upload in the drive. Okay, heap analyzer, dump analyzer, it is there in the drive, so no worries about it.
Well, once if we are increasing the heap size,
Mm-hmm.
by default we are going to sync the node and we are going to restart the server, right?
Yeah, if you increase the heap size, restarting is enough. Syncing is not mandatory. Sync is not mandatory. Sync what when you will do when you do application modifications, because the application would be integrated with front end. So, syncing is important when you do any application or configuration changes in the application level. But it's
Uh,
always, that's fine, you can do sync, but it's not mandatory if you increase the memory.
okay, okay.
Jyoti, is this email address correct?
Absolutely incorrect.
Raghu, I'll send you in another email. Why? Because you have covered little more topics.
Praveen, do we have class tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah, we will be having.
Okay. Maybe I may not join, I believe.
Okay. In
Because
fact,
I'm
tomorrow I want to cover the topic which we have already covered, so no worries. And
okay. What are the topics you covered? You just put in the share drive, right? That's better. Video.
yeah, videos anyways now I'm keeping. I'm not sure. Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm taking a little bit more time. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I forgot. After the class, I'm forgetting after the class. That's why I'm sending notes right away. And don't mind, I'll upload the videos also, which is pending. Yesterday we class 8, class 9. So Jyoti, do you have idea that we are having videos in the share drive?
I don't see any recorded videos in Drive.
Yeah, let me open and show you. So in Feb 9 batch, Feb 2019 batch, there, okay, class 8, class 9, batch station demo. Yeah, fine. All are there, except demo, first class, demo, second, these are not belonging to our class. Remaining all are there. That's fine. I have uploaded all of our classes. But I started recording from sixth class. So from there, they are here. Okay, fine, cool. Okay, so Raghu, tomorrow, no need to worry. I'll cover IBM HTTP server and integrating it with WebSphere. So I believe we both have covered that topic, right?
As of now, I'm not confirming you that I'm not attending. Maybe I may not be.
Oh, okay, okay. And anyways, I'll record. And since you already attended, that should be okay. Fine. And we'll discuss after the class. Fine. And yeah, this is about monitoring and tuning. And apart from this, you should know Linux commands about monitoring and tuning. Basic commands are like top and um,
Yeah,
PF.
Praveen. As per the discussion, if you have Linux commands, can you share with everybody, please? Because it will be helpful to everybody.
Sure, sure. Okay, we'll keep separate class for Linux commands then. Right now, if you want to discuss like top, you can use top and vmstat. Let me make a note of them then. You know, but I'll that's fine. Raghu, we'll have a separate class then. Okay, one class for Linux commands. because we can have in-depth discussion like top, VM stat, and trace route, and TCP dump. So we have commands. We'll discuss then. We'll yeah. We'll keep separate sessions for Linux, and we'll discuss on that. Okay, cool. So now I want to go with the next topic about WebSphere. So and about monitoring and tuning. Yeah, this is what we can do, and I'll tell you Linux commands later. And in the WebSphere, I want to cover security. So security, I mean here again, we don't really do these things every day, but this monitoring and tuning, this is very oftenly we do. So it's always good to go as much depth as possible for this monitoring and tuning. So I'll send you the notes also after the class, which I'm having the files which I showed. So these three monitoring, you can go in depth. So right now the next topic is security. Security is like we don't really do very often. So security, like to open admin console in your company, you would be having a username and password. In complex business architectures and in many financial sectors, you would be using the same logins which you use for your local desktop. With that only you can access your with that only you can access your admin console. And once again, only in small projects, right, they will create some other security settings, and you may have separate usernames, and you will log in with and it will be like this: you will log in with one user, and sometimes only some specific user would be having some specific rights. So they will give the rule, they will give the user also, they can say that username as some WebSphere admin user something, they can name it as WebSphere admin user, and apart from your general logins they will have some other username, they will give that username as well. So just to have some knowledge, we'll see what are the security features available in WebSphere, and so let us check whether our deployment manager is running or not. So the other day we have installed deployment manager. Okay, so it's up, let us log in. And then yeah, so here it is security. So security is enabled means global security, obviously security would be enabled in all the companies. So right now we will see how to enable it. So if you see here, it's not enabled, it is unchecked. So to enable security, you can click on security configuration wizard. When once security is enabled, anyways security will be applied to the application as well. I mean, except the authorized user, no other can change application configuration. Next. Okay, there are 4 types here. So not much difference, and the major, very commonly used and highly secured is standalone LDAP. That is simple. You will have your desktop logins. The same would be synchronized to this WebSphere. They will assign to appropriate groups, and they will, so that you can use the same username and password. So this is most widely used in financial sectors like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, maybe Wells Fargo, all those things, all those projects. And yeah, some projects will use this as well. Federated repository. So federated repository is nothing but the user would be created in the WebSphere in the WebSphere environment, and using that username and password you can log into your admin console. And this is local operating system. The name itself suggests local operating system is, see, some servers will have some usernames. Say this is being Windows 10, I don't have permissions, but you can create based on your license of the product. You can create users in your server, and and those users can be assigned to access this admin console. So LDAP and local operating system, by name itself we can identify. LDAP means Active Directory or even SiteMinder. So the usernames would be synchronized with some domain controller, LDAP. And local operating system, it would be integrated with the users in that server. And the remaining two, federated means usernames would be created in your WebSphere environment, and we can access with those users using federated repositories. Standalone custom means it is nothing but if you want to create multiple users, you can you can have a format, and you can create users, and you can create again, even this is also users will be created in this WebSphere environment, but here you can create multiple users. So that is the difference between federated and standalone custom registry. So let us check one federated repositories. Next, here it is asking for user, because as of now we did not created any security, and we did not create any user. So right now I want to just create some user. Let us give some name, first user, and let us give some password. Okay, so now I just gave some user, and it will create user in your WebSphere environment. Save. Yeah, obviously when you do major configurations we have to restart the server. Excuse me. Okay, start connection. Sorry, I should do stop. And I'm having class at 7, so we'll see how much we could do 6 till 6:50, and we'll wind up the class. Okay, let us start it back. maybe because we have done some changes, it is taking long time to bring it up. Okay, so let us open it. Yeah, by default, see now it is asking for username and password. Earlier, uh, it was not asking for password, only it used to ask user ID. So now let us give the username and password. So now even if I open any new terminal and try to restart, in some situations it may ask to give username and password even while restarting the services. Now here, since I'm having the, maybe I'm using this session from long time to restart these servers, it may not have asked the username and password. But if you open a new terminal and try to restart the service, it may ask for username and password because security is enabled. Okay, so yep, so now without giving username and password we cannot access. So let us go back to security. Yeah, security is enabled, and if we have to use, check with another security. Let us cover theory, because if we has to enable another security, it may take time and we may not cover before 6:50. Let us cover theory and then try to do practicals. Okay, so this we have done. We have created some users, and so local operating system, as I said, you can give the username which are existing in local operating system. I mean, in my Windows, say here in my case it should be Windows, and in Windows I'm having, in Windows 10, I don't know how to check, manage. So okay, Fine, it's complicated. Say suppose I'm logging in using some username and password to this laptop. So I can give such kind of users, but in real time you will give the users which are there in the server. So that is about local operating system. And standalone, as I said, let us see what are the details it will ask in the standalone. Here the important thing is it will ask the details of the server. Say you are using Microsoft Active Directory. This is one of the famous common Active Directory, but apart from this you are having Tivoli directory and Sun Java System Directory, but the most widely used is Microsoft Active Directory. So once you select this, it will ask for bind distinguished name and bind distinguished password, bind password. So you can just remember these 2 points here for LDAP registry: bind distinguished name and bind password. So these details would be given by system administration team. So you should take these details from system admin team and you have to configure here. And so system admin team, they will assign some groups and they do some securities, and then they will give you this bind distinguished name. Then certain group of members can have certain rights. And so this is how you configure about LDAP. And so we have covered two. Local operating system, we should give the details about the user in this system. You should give the username and you should proceed. And standalone custom registry, here you can give the, you can make files. There is a syntax to make files, and you can make file, and you can keep it here and create n number of users, or else you can input the values here and you can create multiple users and you can do it here. So yeah, this is about custom, but and people won't use this custom registry. I'm sorry, they may use, but the most widely used is Active Directory. So if you can use multiple, create multiple users here. That is about custom registry. And at the most we can try the second option, local operating system. For that, later we have to disable the existing security and then we have to try. So let me see to uncheck this. Yeah, I'm disabling the security. Apply, save. We'll see how far we could do before our time finishes. So again I should restart the server. If we try to do with the existing security settings, and if we try to change the security, it gets conflict, and the server may get corrupted. So better to change the security configurations, disable the existing security and then enable the security. And these all things anyways you should have only for knowledge sake. And so they will do documentation, they will do in the development QA, and then they'll come to prod. Yeah, see now I said it will ask for username and password. So though we are disabling the security, even to disable security it is asking username and password because it is already enabled. So I'm giving the username and password. Now since it is security is disabled, I believe now while starting it should not ask for username and password. So which movie you are planning, Raghu? Mahanayakuru? No, I'm just asking which movie you are planning to watch this weekend. Tomorrow you are.
Mahanayak,
Wow.
but not yet confirmed.
Did you see Kadanayakuru?
Yes. That's why I'm eagerly waiting for Mahanayak.
Oh, even I did see Kadanayakuru, but I don't know why it has become flop, man. Movie is good only.
That's Balakrishna.
Even the movie is good, it won't run.
Oh, Sandeep, sorry if you are a Balakrishna fan, sorry, I'm sorry for that.
No, man, you're saying, you might be saying fact. Even I'm wondering, movie is good, but it is, I mean, it did not get the box office collection.
It's been more than a year I watched a Telugu movie, so
Oh, man. Last time, like when I've been to Canada, I went to NTR Nanaku Premato, something that movie in Canada. I was wondered, throw papers in the theater because which we see in RTC Crossroads. I was shocked by seeing those things. They threw papers in the theater. Uh, and
That's why we are proud to say that we are Telugu audience.
yeah, I mean, here even in multiplex, people won't talk here, right? Here in Canada, they threw papers. I was shocked. Like only they'll keep only one show. It's like festival for them if they keep one show. They'll keep only one show. That's it. In Sunday, that's so. For that, they will rotate the news for 1 week, and then they'll run the show in theater. Yeah, crazy things. I mean, that is a small town, Halifax, so it was like that. Maybe in New Jersey, you might be having many shows, right, Sandeep?
a lot.
Yeah, maybe every day or like how many shows in a week? Like,
Depends on the movie and hero, and there'll be more than 4 to 5 shows every day.
wow.
So, Sandeep, you are going tonight only?
Sorry,
You are going today only?
I won't watch a Telugu movie, so I'm sorry.
Come on, yeah. I will give you a compare to Balakrishna.
Okay. Chalo, fine guys. So we have disabled security. So yeah, let us log in without credentials. Now next I'll try, okay, because in Windows 10, earlier when I have tried, I couldn't succeed. But I have a video where I did this security settings in Windows XP. Today let us try in Windows 10 and see how it goes. Security. Yeah, security configuration is on. So yeah, I want to do this thing next, local operating system next. So here, yeah, I should give the existing user in my laptop because it is configured in my laptop. So I'm giving the username. Let us see, I don't know whether it works or not. But yeah, exception raised while applying visa security settings. Okay, right now, I have video for this. I'll just show you. I mean, for this small thing, I cannot install OS and do those things. Yeah, Sandeep and Jyoti, please subscribe to my channel.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, if you see here, yeah, in this is a XP operating system, and if you go to manage, there you could find users. There you can add users. And just create some user. Yeah, I just created VAS user one. And the other one, the other third, using Active Directory, that thing anyways we cannot do it because domain controller is not configured in our system. Yeah, so I'm going to security configuration wizard. So now I would be selecting local operating system. Yeah, yeah, local operating system it is selected. Go to next, and yeah, see here it won't give error. In our Windows 10 it gave error. So I'm giving the username which is existing in this system. Did not throw any error. So yeah. So in server system it works. My Windows 10 it is not a server system, so it did not work. Yeah. So after I restart, it will log in only if I use that username and password. I have enabled the security to application server, which is a standalone application server. That's why I was using command start server. So in our real time, we will be doing for deployment manager. So if we do for deployment manager, we should use the command start manager. So I did not remember what did I do to resolve this error. Awesome. Okay. Well, if it is, the default option is user must change password. That option, um, I disabled, and I'm keeping the password so that we no need to change the password. So now I set the password as well. So using that password, I'm logging in. Fine. So I showed you two methods. So third method, LDAP, we cannot do it. And the other method, custom, I have never done. Maybe if I get some time, I'll do it and I'll let you know. So custom is nothing but if you want to create multiple users, you can use the custom. And these are basics. And if you want to go into depth, I'll give you the file. I mean, the common interview question is, could you enable multiple securities? The answer is yes. For that, I'll send you the document today. I have one more class. After the class, I'll send you documents related to this monitoring and the security. When you get some time, you can go through them, and yeah, you can go in depth about these two topics. And so about so any questions about today's class?
We enable
Uh,
security at, DMGR level, right?
yeah, this is DMGR. Yeah, in this Windows 10, yes, we are in DMGR only. Yeah, so this will get implied to all the applications in this DMGR. Whichever application is there in this DMGR, it will get implied to those applications.
Uh,
Yeah. And
Now, if
anyways, in
the server restart, it will ask the username and password also.
yeah, did you observe earlier when we restarted? Uh, it asked for username and password, and
I think you can
when
just
one.
do things first JVM
But,
level to not to ask password, even if security is
uh-huh.
on.
Okay, those things even I have not done those things. Maybe we could have options then. Okay,
I don't know
I'll
what.
check it around. Acha, you're not sure where to keep, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check out then. Just give a moment. Let me make a note of it. Okay, so yeah, this thing I'll check, and so tomorrow's class I'm interested to take at 6:30. Is 6:30 okay with you all? I mean, I should check with other girl also. Well, I'm having some works. So Raghu, what would you suggest? And we should check with Sandeep also. I believe.
Okay, from 5:30 to 6:30. What happened?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I have some works, but that's fine. I can come. Okay, the same timing 5:30 to 7, right?
Yes.
And there is a one more girl. I'll request her to join this class. And if not 5:30, there is no option for if not, right, Raghu? Tomorrow is Saturday.
No, it's Friday. Yeah.
Okay, chalo then. We'll have class at 5:30 only. One more girl. She's like I have class at 7. I'll ask her to join at 5:30. Hopefully,
Tomorrow
she'll
is
join
Friday.
without. Actually, I'm not going to office. That's why I'm confused. That's why I'm discussing timings.
So if you're not going to office, why can't we have a class at 4 o'clock?
Oh man, I'm having works.
Oh.
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock I can have, but Sandeep should wake up early.
Sandeep, Sandeep will wake up. I know that.
At
Before,
least make it
No,
4:30. I can wake up at 6.
okay. 4:30. I guess it's okay. So, but no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But even the other girl, she cannot make it out. She has to finish office and come to the class. Let us make it at 5:30 only. Hope I'll request her to somehow join the class because it's my time. So let us have 5:30 only.
I'm
That's
Praveen.
okay with you all guys, right? Yeah.
On Saturday, can we have a class, a practical session? Uh, me or Sandeep or Jyoti is going to share their screen, and they're going to do a practical.
Actually, I did not inform you. Saturday I'm going out of station. This Saturday, Sunday I'm not no, I could not take classes on this Saturday and Sunday.
Come on. No.
But like, what topics you want? Like, remaining all topics. Okay, what we'll do, we'll have on Sunday then. Sunday is okay with you guys? I'll come back by Sunday morning. Huh? Okay, Jyoti is not on mute, I guess. Raghu, we'll do on Sunday, Raghu. You should be okay, right? Saturday I'll take off. I have some works.
Sandeep, will
So
you join on Sunday?
Yeah, I can join.
Uh,
so now timings.
like the same Sandeep, like day before yesterday we've done with installation, right? Like the
Mm-hmm.
same we are going to do till this LTAP level.
Still
Okay.
LW level 1 day, huh?
All-
Okay, okay, that's fine. So yeah, shall we have at the same timing, 5:30
Yes.
Sunday?
Depend on Sandeep.
Okay.
Okay, tomorrow anyways, yeah, we'll have class at 5:30. Again, we'll have class on Sunday, 5:30.
Uh,
Mm, so, Jyoti, you're also okay with 5:30 Sunday, right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, okay, guys. Chalo then. See you tomorrow, 5:30. Yeah,
Okay, bye.
yeah. Bye bye. Good night. Bye bye.